With being used to second and third gens, Evan had to spend a few minutes getting me all up to date on the Uconnect system and the fancy cruise control and the lane assist and some of the other general features of the truck. And after, like I said, about 30 minutes or so, we had a general grasp of everything, and we were ready to hit the road for the first time and continue our journey and get on home. Coming through southern eastern Oregon right now. Not a whole lot out here, just more high desert, kind of like Idaho. And we're trucking along at 71 miles an hour. A little bit of a bumpy ride back there with no bed on, but the front feels pretty good. But fuel mileage could be better. But the truck is amazing. Not regretting the extra cost of the limited package one bit. Such a nice truck. And this rear view mirror, that's quite interesting. Trying to get used to this is kind of weird looking at it. But yeah, this is a fun voyage, and working our way towards Nevada. We've got about 7.5, 8 hours left to go to make it home. How I learned about Peterson's Ram was watching V-Belt and Son, Sam Andrews videos where he bought his truck. So I called them, they got me in touch with the fleet salesman, Evan Leach, and he gave me a price, and it was a no-brainer. I ordered the truck. If you're on the west half of the country and you need a truck, call them. I highly doubt you're going to find a better price. Don't worry about the trip. Don't look at it as a chore. Look at it as an adventure or a mini vacation, because as you're seeing, that's definitely how it was for us. Well, we were scooting along nice, about 78 miles an hour. But hit a bad stretch in the road here, had to slow it down. A little bit better, about 10 miles an hour slower. All kinds of fun with no bed on. We stopped for fuel out in eastern Nevada on Highway 95, and I was quite entertained by this fuel station that was literally out in the middle of nowhere. And it was just kind of a four corners intersection, and nothing you could see in any direction. I just found it quite entertaining. That it's a really great representation of why I like the West and its isolation. So fuel mileage, it says I'm getting 14.6 has been the trip average. Wish that was a little bit higher. And once the truck is broken in, I'm sure that'll be better. But because it did on the trip, did a few different times running fifth gear at about 70, 72, try to change the RPMs, move them around a little bit. I don't know if that rule still stands true on newer engines, but you know, it used to be not to break in an engine at the same RPM for too long at one time. And so ran, like I said, in fifth gear at some points, and then out on Interstate 80 through Nevada, we kind of put it to it and did 80 for quite a while. And but so 14.6, you know, hopefully that'll come up. The other thing is the Harman Kardon stereo, 17 speaker stereo. Not bad at all for a stock system. No, it can't hang with some of the stereos that, like we just finished my wife's truck here a few months ago. Had a video on that, it's in the archives. Is it as good as, you know, a 2,000 watt aftermarket system? No, but for a factory stereo, it's really good. I'm really impressed. I don't see myself doing any kind of changes to it. The exhaust brake, I've never had an exhaust brake before. I love it. The auto mode is really cool. You step on the brake, it comes on, and it helps. You can feel it. So over time, that will definitely save some brake. The headlights in this limited truck are fantastic. The spread, it's hard to see on camera, but how far, if you can see that on camera, how far into that orchard the beam of light, hang on here, how far that beam of light shines over. Same thing going that way. I've never had even close to a vehicle like this as far as headlights. Unfortunately, I've got a one-eyed cyclops here following. I can't hit the high beams, but very impressive on the lights. And I was really looking forward to that because I've always struggled with the second gens and stuff, having good lighting on dark roads. I travel a lot of dark rural roads at night, and so so far, fantastic truck. Can't wait to get it home and crash and get some sleep. Coming from the second gens and the third gens, I'm real happy with the layout of everything. Everything's very familiar. I guess it's not a surprise that it would be very, very familiar, and a lot of things would carry over. But you know, I like the way that Mopar has laid out everything in this new truck. One thing that's pretty cool is the power steering fluid is right here, rather than down here on the second and third gens. Don't know. I've never been hardly around the fourth gen, so fourth gen guys, don't quote me on anything. But yeah, very easy to get to the reservoirs. We've got, you know, brake, power steering, washer fluid. Here's a fuse panel right here. Here's another fuse panel. Very easily accessible. Looks like to change a battery, we just take, yeah, both sides, both batteries. You got to take this support bar out. No big deal. Actually, I've seen that in the Chevrolets. Is kind of common. But you know, fuel filter, you know, guys complain on the internet about changing the fuel filters. I guess it kind of boils down to, are you a mechanic on a daily basis or not? Fuel filters right there. There's one down on the frame. I have lots of equipment that's got filters along frames and stuff. That no sweats, no big deal. Just, you get dirty, it is what it is, and you move on to the next thing, right? So, you know, that's very familiar. Stock second gen and third gen has their fuel filter there. Probably the same for a fourth gen too. Little things I think it's kind of cool. Finally have the dipsticks on the same side. I mean, not if you've got one of those bubblegum paperclip made out of transmissions that's over there on the other side. But if you've got the AS69 ASIN, yeah, your dipsticks on the driver's side. I don't know, it's kind of just both sticks are right there. It's kind of cool. I like the air induction or air filter system, whatever you want to call it. I guess air comes in through the grill here and goes up, travels in, goes down into the air filter. Awesome. Looks good to me. I like it. I won't be letting any aftermarket company rip me off for a cold air intake. This is perfect. Got the red Mopar antifreeze, it looks like, coolant. I think that's what it is anyway. Hey, the red stuff's always the best stuff in the auto parts store, at least. So and this is the cleanest it will ever be from here on out. Priority.